Hi everyone, this is Brad. Today we're going to do a post on Classroomscreen again. There's some nice new options. Just wanted to point those out to you. So I'm on Classroomscreen. One thing I would recommend doing is signing up if you haven't already done so. So if you select that right in there, you can go ahead and create your account with these options. Now, if you already have an account, you can log in here, or you can come up here and then select login and then choose your login. I used Google. So I just logged in. You can see I don't have any screens yet. One thing to point out, if you want to take a look at the difference between the free version and the pro version, it's right here. So again, up to you, something to take a look at. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead in and create a new screen. Now, it puts a new screen here. We're going to go ahead in and select it. You could come over here. You could rename it if you want, duplicate it, so on and so forth. But we're just going to go ahead in and select it. Now, the first thing we're going to take a look at, background. You can see your different categories, which you can go ahead in, take a look at, choose what you'd like. You could also go ahead in, if you've uploaded ones from before, you could certainly do that. I'm going to choose this one right here. Okay, so with the polling, did a video the other day. I'll include this in the description. But if you go ahead in, you can see your different choices, multiple choice, smileys, true, false. The nice thing with signing in, which again is free, this website, you can type in join CRS, joinclassroomscreen.com, and use the specific code that they have, and students or users can vote remotely, which is really nice. Okay, so let's go ahead in and take a look here. If we select here, where it says select a poll type, you can go ahead in and choose what you'd like. Let's just say true, false for right now. You can always change the question type if you'd like to. Go ahead in and change that. And you can even see how to vote. Do you want it to be remote? Chart type, so on and so forth, reset the results. So you can go ahead in and do that. Again, I have more about the polls in the description. So nice to have. So if we close out of this though for right now, something to point out though with all of these, which is really nice to have, is these three dots where you can spotlight. So it just kind of makes it stand out a little bit, which is nice. To get rid of the spotlight, select the X. And again, if you need to go into something and you want to go into the settings of that specific thing, for example, the poll, you can go ahead in and select that settings cog. All right, if you want to close out of something, you can go ahead and select the X. Random name, we can just take a quick look at this. So in order to go in to your names, you could go ahead into the settings gear, and then you can see you can choose a list. So if you have a list saved, like homeroom science or whatever, this again another great reason to sign in. You can go ahead in. Of course, you could always create a local list as well if you'd like to. But I'm going to go in. Let's just say homeroom. Again, you have all these sounds, chosen students, so on and so forth. If you want to keep that, you can certainly do that. But again, I chose homeroom. Let's go ahead in, close out, and now we're going to do random. So it goes through and just chooses a random one. Again, if you want to spotlight, you can always spotlight. You can even duplicate if you want as well. So you can see the spotlight right there. Again, if you want to go in, you can certainly change that, which again, you can now see, do you want it to remember chosen students? And these students will not be chosen again. So very nice to have. Again, you could duplicate. So if I just click on these three dots and duplicate, you can see it goes to 2 here, and then I can drag that over. To remove one, you could certainly remove one as well. So that's random name. QR code, you could put in anything. For example, let's put in this one right here. And it's going to generate a QR code for you, which can be scanned. And again, if you want to spotlight, you can spotlight, which is nice to have, especially at open house and things like that. Sound level, again, you need to allow your microphone. What's your maximum noise? Again, you can go ahead in and you can make these adjustments in there. Depends how you'd like to use this. I'm just going to close out of that, but I just wanted to point that out for you. Your images, you could upload an image if you would like to right in here, and you could have the image for whatever it is that your lesson revolves around. You could certainly open and add an image. Text, really nice to have, where you can even see all the different types of fonts, which is nice to have, your different sizes. You can put in links if you want. Again, if you want to go ahead in and change things, you could see how you could change right in here. Your font size. Do you want to enable spell check? Sometimes just nice to have. And then your color theme. And you could always add your own custom theme as well there. And of course, you could duplicate, or you could just click down there, move it like this, and you could have multiple options. So this is great for if you're going to go ahead and let's say you were going to be doing some sort of work where the children are going to be in different groups and it's group work. You could have 4 of these set up, so you could say, hey, in group number 1 I want you to do this, group number 2, so on and so forth, or the names however it is you would like. So I'm just going to go ahead and going to close out of these right here, but I'm going to leave one for right now. You could also add a drawing. So that's really just kind of fun to go ahead through. Certainly nice to have, where you could go ahead through and say from, if you're going to do this, you could say from here to here, that's your radius. You could also have your perimeter. You could talk about all these things in here. You can have an arrow if you're going to talk about raise or whatever it is that you're going to do. If you make a mistake, you could certainly erase if you'd like to as well. So go ahead and play with those. If you make a mistake, you can always undo, or you could bring back. So there you go. Wanted to point that out. And again, you could always spotlight. Work symbols. Just like before, you have silence, whisper, ask a neighbor, work together. So why did I leave this one up here? Let's say in this group was to do a whisper. You could certainly kind of shrink this a little bit. Whoops, let's make this a little bit bigger. Sorry about that. Let's bring that up. Say whisper, and I wanted it just like that. So then students knew that they had to whisper in this section. So just wanted to point that out. Traffic light, you got your red, your yellow, your green. You have your settings that you could go ahead in. You could change what it looks like. And the thing is, right down in here, do you want this sounds to be enabled, or do you want a description? So if we go ahead in, what's a description for a red light, description for a yellow light, description for a green light. So that's a nice new feature to have, just as a nice reminder for students what the traffic light means. And again, if you ever need to move things around, you can certainly go ahead and drag right in there. And if you want a spotlight, you can go ahead and do that. All right, so let's close out of those just by clicking on the X. Let's remove the whispers as well. Okay, timer. So you can go ahead in, little countdown. Right in here, if we select here, it just resets it. Now, if we do the 3 dots, you can see where you can duplicate, showing all your screens that you have. When the timer goes, what do you want it to sound like? You can see all these different ones in here. How many times do you want to repeat the timer? Maybe, especially if you're in having 4 groups, sections, maybe you want it to repeat 4 times. So you could certainly do that, and you would not have to keep getting up and repeat. So if you want to hear what this certain thing sounds like, you can do that. So you can see it's going to repeat 4 times. Just go ahead and hit that right there, and you're good to go. If you want to go in and change things, again, go into your settings and change your timer. So certainly very nice to have. You can see I just reset that right there. With the clock, we select the clock. You can see right in here what it looks like. Again, let's go into the settings. Do you want it to be a 24, 12 hour? Do you want to add an alarm, which is kind of nice to have? If you'd like that, you could certainly go ahead and set that. And what does the alarm sound like? So there you have it. So you can see that it comes up showing both analog and digital. So let's go ahead in. Now let's close out of this. And the last things to show you, you have more widgets here. So you have a calendar, you have dice, the ability to embed a group maker, a stopwatch, webcam. So let's just real quickly take a look at the dice. The dice is really nice. It rhymes. Because what you can do is, you can go ahead in and just select it right here. So that's nice. If you'd like, though, what you can do is you can see your custom dice here. So really nice to have. You can enable some sounds if you like, but you can have a 20-sided one. Go ahead and roll. And if you wanted to, let's just say you want to add another one. So let's go ahead in and let's duplicate and let's duplicate. So if you're going to do, let's just say multiplication or something like that, let's go ahead in and let's say, or some sort of, add, subtract, multiply, divide. You can go ahead in, and it's 20 divided by 12. So you can have your students go ahead in and do that. So you can see how many widgets you have open right now. We have 3 widgets. Let's take a look at, let's take a look at some more here. Apologize for that. We can close out of these. Whoops. You can see the group maker there. Let's just close these real fast. With the group maker, you can go ahead in and you can see your different groups 1, 2, 3, 4. If you'd like, you could go ahead in here, select right in here, choose your list that you have. Let's do homeroom. And then let's go ahead in and just create the groups. Let's close out and create the groups. There you have your groups already set and ready to go. Again, don't forget you also have the ability to add a stopwatch. And with the stopwatch, if we select it right in here, you can go ahead and just select play. Now, if you want to lap, you could go ahead in and take care of that with your laps. And of course, you could pause it to go in, select your settings. You could do a split, you can do lap, so on and so forth. How do you want the timetable format to be? And of course, you can always change your color theme. Best thing here, more widgets. So if you go into video, you can enter a YouTube URL. Play video. I have Jack Johnson's Greatest Hits. Let it go through a little bit. And then when you're ready, go ahead in and press play. And there you have the video playing. And you could still have everything else up. So really, really, really nice option to have. If you do have any questions, please reach out. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.